Imperial Tropicals here. Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. So hope everyone's doing good. It's been, another crazy week like always here at Imperial. Been busy breeding a lot of fish. We've got a lot of new fish that are doing very well breeding right now. So we're excited about that. We've got a lot of new fish that are going up on the website every week. So super excited about everything going on right now here at Imperial Tropicals. So I know the last couple weeks I haven't had time to go live and give you guys any updates. Today's going to be just a short video, so if you guys want to ask any questions, don't hesitate, and I'll try to answer them, as they come in. And while we're waiting for people to join, I'll go ahead and flip the camera and show you guys some of the stuff that's going on. We've got the 600-gallon tank right here. We set up with some Burundi frontosa breeders from a local customer of ours that was moving and needed to relocate them. So we're excited about that. We've bred the Burundis before, but one problem is we never had a big enough tank. Like even in the greenhouse, the 200-gallon vats are enough volume of water, but they're not tall enough. So it worked out perfect. We ended up setting this up for a Burundi breeding tank. So excited about that. We're going to be adding some more dithered Tanganyikans to that tank. This has still got the Savannah, and then we have a couple big Juraparis in the tank. We did add a big green Phantom to the tank, but he's always hiding. We've got some Damba Madagascars growing out in that same tank. Those guys are getting some good size to them also. So excited about those guys. We just kept a small batch of the Dambas back because I wouldn't mind breeding it. They're a very unique fish. They remind me of saltwater fish. Very, very similar personality and attitude. They're very colorful. They do get big, but they are endangered in Madagascar, so I think it's good for breeding projects for those guys. Of course, we got the big luteus hanging out, chilling on the rock. We got a big school of cardinals here. I think eventually I'm going to do like a backdrop in these tanks, like with a curtain, so whenever we do pictures and videos, you can actually see the fish a lot better without seeing our clutter of tools in the back. All right, so Dylan commented he wanted to see some angelfish. Let's go look at them. Also added, the picture for this video is a true red shoulder Severum species. Now, you guys know that we have had, red shoulder Severums for many years, but they are what we would consider like an aquarium strain, so they're not a pure strain that comes from the wild. So I was very excited to get the proper, wild type heroes true red shoulder Severum, the Roquel Severum species. And we actually put these up on the website last week, and every one of them sold out in just a few days. So they're very, very popular. There's a person that we buy fish from, a breeder that is breeding these fish. So I'm hoping that he, keeps up the breeding on them, because we're already ready for some more sellers. These are some bigger ones that he sent us for pictures. So we're going to end up throwing those guys in that 600-gallon Geophagus tank. So excited about those. So we're going to show off more of the South American and Central American cichlid. So let's walk over to the angels and look at those guys. So right here we have some black veil angels, and these guys are really nice finnage on them. I mean, top to bottom, you're probably looking at like 6 inches tall. So very, very nice fins on these guys. Good black markings on them. So that's the veils. We have a fancy assorted mix, and these guys are not up on the website yet, but we are going to end up offering like a larger assorted mix So this is those guys, and these are all like young breeding size fish. Here we have the black angels. These are standard tail, not the veils. So they're not going to have as long of fins, top and bottom. But those guys are really nice size. I'd consider those like a medium size. This is the assorted, regular assorted size, and these are good size too. I'd say the body is, you know, right at $half size, not counting the fins. Here's the gold angels. Those guys are really nice. And these guys are pretty big too. You're probably looking at, you know, I'd probably say like a 3-inch body on them. So young breeding size. We have a few of the kois left. So I know we're expecting another order from the local breeder on the koi. Right now it looks like we only have 2 of the koi angels left. And here's the veil angels for the assorted veil. So I see some marbles, some zebras, a gold. And those guys are really nice too. Here's the Bulgarian green angels. I'm hoping to get some more of these guys in really soon. I do have some bigger ones in the greenhouse that I've been growing up that we're probably going to offer those guys for sale. But that's one of the newer lines of angelfish that started being available, you know, a few years ago. Here we got the green turquoise Severums. We got some good size on those. These guys are looking good. Get this ladder out of the way. Here we got the orange spotted Severums, red spotted Severums. So those guys are looking good. Those are really popular. Severums in general seem to be just incredibly popular. Just they make really good, you know, aquarium fish, because even though they do get big, they don't require like a ginormous tank. And really the only time they get aggressive is if they pair off and start breeding. This is the Amazon Cichlid. These are some of the wild ones that we brought in from Colombia, and these guys have been breeding like crazy also. So I see Drayden's on. What's up, Drayden? Yeah. So I'll walk through. I know we got quite a few Tanganyikans that are new. Trying to think of what new peacocks and haps. I can't really think of any new peacocks and haps, but I know there's a lot of Tanganyikans that are ready. So we haven't had the Braziliensis in a long time, so we brought those guys in. For a Geo, these guys do get very big and they get very aggressive. So make sure you have a proper tank to house those in. We got some bigger Balzani, Gymnogeophagus. Those guys are really cool because they don't have the aggression like some of the other cichlids do. There's a few of the true red shoulder Severums, the Roquels, that you see that one male on the back's already looking like really, really nice. And then we got the gold Severums. Those are also really nice and more common. They're not as expensive, but still a really nice fish. And then we're going to jump over to this side. These guys have been incredibly popular ever since we started breeding them. This is a fish we started breeding actually when Drayden was here. We had good luck. We brought in some grow outs from another breeder, a hobbyist that was breeding them, that shipped us some, and those guys took the breeding, and it's been just a fantastic fish. You've seen them in the big show tank earlier. These guys are just starting to get their markings. This is what we sell as like a 2 to 3 inch size. We did bring some big angels. This is the red ampas. These are actually going to be for sale. So I might walk down there and show you the vat of them. I think Mike ended up moving them into a breeding tank. So I don't even know if I know exactly what tank they're in right now, but yeah, those guys were just popping with color. And what's nice about that for a Copachroma species, it seems to be showing color all the time, which is nice because a lot of the Copachromas, they only show that bright coloration whenever they're in breeding dress, which might only happen, you know, once a year. Some bigger Cubans, we got those guys ready. Very aggressive fish, so be prepared if you are going to keep Cuban cichlids to have a big tank and spread out the aggression. Red rainbows, I like that fish a lot. They don't get very big, so compared to a lot. Savannah eyes, this is what, you know, I would consider like the aquarium strain. This is a little bit different than the Tabasco strain that we sell, but even for an aquarium strain without a location, these guys are very, very nice. So, I'd say, Drayden, we got more rainbows, new rainbows ready, like the Lake Ooters. Those guys, can't keep them in stock. They seem to fly out the door. Price eyes, that's one of those rainbows that, unless it's in breeding dress, don't look good, but that's more for your serious rainbow keeper that is wanting to keep a group of, you know, breeding just so that males show color. The Aves Creek, we're getting a lot of those. We've been selling, that's another one that we can't keep in stock. They seem to fly out the door. Cali Bairu, that's another one, kind of like the price eye that only shows breeding dress when it's breeding, but it is a very, you know, colorful fish when it has females in the tank. And then the Pagui, I don't even think the Pagui are listed yet. I think Jared just took photos of them. So I do have Kalitawa, but I saved them all back for breeders. There's some bigger ones of the Aves Creek that are sexable. You can see those guys. And that's just a location type of the Bozemanti. For those that don't know, I know Drayden knows those fish very well, but you know, there's, you know, multiple different locations. But so on the Kalitawa, we had probably 500-600 grow outs growing up, and during the hurricane, the standpipe got knocked over and we lost all our grow outs. So we are still breeding them. We got lots of fry. In fact, I got an order for 400 of them that was placed today with Jeffrey. So we're going to restock on the Kalitawa. Here's some of the Bozemanti that came out of, Drayden will know, greenhouse number 4. And we had stopped breeding the aquarium strain because, you know, we got a good supply of those from a local breeder. So we're going to end up offering these bigger Bozemanti. You know, this is just a standard aquarium strain. If I had to say, these are probably some of the original ones that came in. Could have been when Heiko Blair brought them into the hobby, into Europe many years ago. And they're probably Lake Ayamaru Bozemanti, but we don't like putting a location on them unless we know the exact, you know, time frame of them being collected in the wild, and, you know, accurate records of, you know, making sure. Some bigger Gorda Rivers, some Blair Rainbows, some big guys of those. And we normally don't offer them this big. In fact, these guys are not up for sale yet. They came in from greenhouse number 4 recently, and we're just making sure that everything's good to go, and then we're going to send those guys out. The Turkana jewels. I do not know why these are not more popular. I mean, it's got all the bright colorations that the Hemichroma species carry, and they don't get as big and they don't get as aggressive. And so I think these guys are just spectacular fish that I think as more people keep them and enjoy them, I think they will become more and more popular. So way better because they're not just so aggressive that they kill each other, you know. I got some chocolates right behind us. Here's the bigger ones. Yeah, I did show them earlier, Drayden. I just went by them quick. I didn't mention them, but these guys are like 3-4 inches. They're just starting to get some good markings on them. They've been going out the door really fast, so it's not often that we get them this size. Typically, the chocolates we get are much, much smaller. In fact, the small ones are sold out too. So actually, no, they're right below them. Here's the size that we normally get, which is more of that 2 to 3 inch size. So, so if you're looking for chocolates, we got these at 2 to 3 inches. And then these guys are more like the 3 or 4 inch size right here. Let's see, what else we got new over here. Actually, since Drayton's on, we'll go ahead and go look at some of these new Africans. Of course, we still have, you know, all the bread and butter, Mabunos, OB zebras, red zebras, yellow labs. These guys are looking good. Dactaris, those guys are looking good. What else we got? The Ochur Chulumbas. I think we already had some of those available and we're selling some when you were here, Drayden, but these guys are really nice. I love the full of born eye types, and these guys are really unique. The camera doesn't do it justice for the coloration on those males. We do have, and I've been kind of disappointed. This is the Zebra Gold Ruari, and I do have a couple adults that, like, I had Jared take pictures of them, and they don't do them justice neither, because as soon as we netted them up, they turn their colors off. But the Zebra Golds are, you know, there's a lot of different locations, but that one looks really nice when it's in breeding dress. So still somewhat new. Let's see. We got Taiwan Reefs, the Ruby Red Germans. We got a lot of the German stuff ready, but they're not big. So here's the smaller guys. So that's just some that we grew up in the vat. Tetrastigmas, Red Empress, Yellowhead, Nikondis, and again, these are all unsexed, but it's from all that, the German ones that we brought in while you were here, Drayden. This is one of the males starting to color up right there. The German Yellow Blaze. This is the one that has more of the yellow throughout the body on them. Those guys are looking good. So yeah, we have a lot more. These actually came in from a local breeder. Some of the Sipicomus, Tiger Nasuda, and they're all juveniles, not showing much color. Karenji, Sipicomus, the Gold Mamba Bays. We're starting to get a good steady supply of those guys. I love all the Placidochroma species, and these males are just stunning. So, what else? Chitandis, those are all only females left. The Swedish red top hongis, these guys are juvies. We do have some growing up that we're growing up to a bigger size. The Calichromis, Melastigmas, those guys are pretty good size. We got a pretty good breeding group on those guys. Masonite, Chitimba, that was one of the newer ones brought in on that German order. We got one male left on those. Let's see, Chitimba Gold, Trophiops. I really like all the Trophiops species from Mabuna. They're more like a Mabuna type, that, you know, body shape wise, and they don't have that high aggression. Red cheeks are another one that's really popular, you know. In fact, I think we are pretty much sold out of the red cheeks right now on the Trophiops. These are some that came from the breeding room. Neolampologus heliensis. Those guys are looking really good. I think we got the Tanganyikans dialed in, so we're getting a lot of production from those guys. The Black Kaiser too. Those guys are really nice. We're getting quite a bit of the Tropheus. Of course, we got the Black Widows, and I do have some breeders of those guys, so we will be breeding them in house also, because I can't keep up with you know, what's available on the wholesale side. The Firecrackers, that's from our stock. Those guys are looking good. The Icolas, You know, what I like about the Icola tropheus is that, you know, when they're small, they don't have the bright yellow markings, but whenever they, you know, get big, they keep the bright yellow markings all the way through adulthood. So those guys are looking good. Let's see, red Chimba tropheus. Those guys are going to be hiding, but that's also from our stock. That's new. Dobini. This is a one that we brought in on that German order also, that we're getting lots and lots of production from that. We only got one pair, and they're doing really good. So a lot of the Tanganyikans are doing well. So same thing with the Epistogramma species. We're starting to get lots and lots of Epistos. So those guys are doing really well. Let's see. Let's go look and see what Brittany has on the outside of her rack. There's, of course, some of the German yellow blaze that's got way more yellow on the body. We got the swallowtails. Those were put out. That's one of the newer strains. You know, what I noticed big time about the swallowtails is, you know, we'll see some that have like nice reddish markings, and then some will have that rusty markings. You know, it almost makes me wonder if they didn't use that to cross into the Eureka Red at some point. I know most people feel like it, you know, didn't come from the swallowtail, that it came from these guys, the otter points, which I would say the otter point probably resembles the Eureka Red the most, but swallowtails are very nice. Let's see, what else? That's about it. I mean, this is the Sanga Bay Red Empress. Those guys are not for sale yet, but they will be soon. What else? I got some more Malawis down here. That's the Sunshine. You see some of that male comes out. Most of them are unsexed, but some of them are starting to show some really good color. Same with these Dragon Bloods. And then I saw one male on the Sunset hat that was really showing some nice markings. See that guy? I need to photograph him because the picture we have now doesn't do that strain justice, but that's a really nice app right there. And then the Red Empress, this is the aquarium strain, so it doesn't have a location, but still just a really nice fish. I've actually been using dividers to keep the males from beating each other up so bad. And then, of course, these are some of the bigger black widows that we're going to, I don't know what I'm going to do as far as the grow out on these guys. I don't want to put them in the 600 gallon with the Burundis. I'm tempted to, because it'll be a good space and enough space to grow them out, but I just don't want to cross them with the Burundis. Even though the breeder we buy these from gets, you know, off throws from these that look like Burundi, I'd just rather keep them separate. And it looks like we got like 3 males and 3 females, so we might end up, you know, just keeping 2 of the males and 3 of the females and selling one of the bigger males off. That's only for the ones that don't like, you know, the wild type strains. That's a really popular man-made strain. So guys, I'm gonna have to wrap it up. So we've got actually a birthday that we're celebrating today. So I still went ahead and went live, but everybody's eating lunch right now. So I'm going to join them. So sorry if I didn't get to all the questions, but I just want to check in with you guys, let us know that we're still here, we're still kicking it. So appreciate all the support you guys have always given us, and just know that we're working really hard to do the best job that we can. So you guys have a good weekend, and I'll try to go I won't be going live next Friday, but the following Friday, hopefully I will have time to be able to go live. And we are expecting a big order of a bunch of new rainbows and fish coming in from Indonesia. So Drayden knows that they got a lot of really nice new rainbows and some new cichlid species too. The albino redhead tapajos, the albino hecali. Those are all on my list to bring in. So you guys have a safe weekend, and we will be in touch with you. Thank you. Hey, and Drayden, stop by and see us whenever you get time. Take care. Bye.